What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast. I'm Jay Ingersoll, and today's podcast is brought to you by Dave Stark from Stark Real Estate. They do real estate right. Click the link below for all your real estate needs. Today's conversation is with Drew from See You Next Tuesday and CHOP7TIMES, and they talk about their new collaborative EP called Brothers that's out on physical now, and May 15th it comes out digitally everywhere. This is a very, very extreme EP. I enjoyed every second of it. It's not for the faint of heart, but what else would you expect from See You Next Tuesday? See You Next Tuesday was on the show a few years ago, and we went through their whole catalog before, so if you're familiar with them or want to go back and check that out, make sure you go check that out. Make sure you guys go pick that up. Go listen to it on the 15th. But the physical copies are awesome. There's awesome artwork associated with it and very cool pressings of the records. And we get into all that in this conversation. Make sure you like this podcast, share this podcast, subscribe to this podcast. We really appreciate it. Share it with a friend if you know anybody that likes metal or metal adjacent or extreme metal things. We really appreciate it. And also, if you want episodes early, you can go over to our Patreon for a small fee that helps us keep this podcast alive and going, and you can get episodes early and bonus episodes over there on that. With that being said, here's the conversation with CHOP7TIMES, and Drew from See You Next Tuesday. Welcome to the show, dudes.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good today. Thank you so much for hitting me up, and so we could talk about this new EP. I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Yeah. A long time coming.
Nice. So, Drew, we've talked before. It's almost kind of weird how the life works because I just seen like a Facebook memory, and literally 2 years ago, almost to the day, is when your first episode came out.
Oh, wow. That's kind of funny.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it's been a couple years since we've talked, but you were like on episode 41 for us. So, I appreciate that and appreciate you supporting the Metal Maniacs coming on here.
Heck yeah, man.
And that was a great convo. We kind of went through, the 2004s when you guys started. We went through the See You Next Tuesday kind of history. We went through all the albums. We talked about a lot of stuff that day. But we got a lot of the background. But now we're here to talk about today and the things that are going forward. But if you don't mind, Drew, can we just take maybe 5 to 10 and just talk to Chop a little bit and get some of your background, because I kind of like to get some of the history about why you do this kind of music, how'd you get started, those kind of things. So if we can start with that, just to give some context, because if whoever's listening to the show, our fans that are listening to the show, you can go back. Episode 41 was the See You Next Tuesday. We go through a lot of history there. We get a lot of talk in there. So we do have that already down. But yeah, if you want to just give me a little insight, Chop, on you, man, because I just got familiar to your stuff, just in the last few days. So
Word. I've put out like 5 albums at this point, but it's all, I'm a one-man band. I do like Noisegrind, power violence kind of stuff, but it's all, it's bass and drums, all programmed myself, hunched over a laptop right here in my bedroom. And then I record a bunch of like garbled up noises, lots of like drone machines through distortion pedals. And, it's been kind of a one-man operation this whole time, but I've been doing it since like right before COVID kind of kicked off. So it was, I guess, the perfect time to have like a bedroom project. But yeah, I've been going pretty steady with it ever since, playing a lot of shows. I just did a little tour down to New Orleans, in February. I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, or if there's anything specific.
Is this your first kind of endeavor into this extreme kind of music, or has it just always been something that's been with you?
No, I kind of bounce around. My music taste is a little all over the place. So I was in like death metal bands and stuff back in like high school and into like college. And then I sidestepped and was doing more like electronic stuff. But then this is the first project where I kind of stepped back into it and like, I don't want to say this is the first one where I like took it seriously, because I started this like as my like kind of bullshit project, kind of my like I was like I wanted it to, I started doing like noisy stuff because I was like, well, if I'm doing noisy stuff, I don't have to worry about like paying somebody to master everything. It can sound a little rough. I don't have to put any money into it, because I had something I was taking like quote unquote more serious before this, and I was just like sinking money into it, and that just made it stressful, and that made it like not fun. So this was like my fun project, and then this just kind of took off.
Isn't that funny how that works sometimes when you let the expectations go and you just let the universe do its thing? It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that's usually when the results come, when you kind of let go of those expectations and the almost like trying too hard shit,
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say, I think that's how Rage Against the Machine started. That was their like they're just like fun band, and they had like, I don't know if all of them or some of them had like a more serious project, but then that was the one that just ended up taking off.
Sure. And then so it's just obviously it's a lot of bass and drums, different noises and things like that. Why is there like no guitar associated with it?
Well, when I first started doing it, I had synthesizers that were kind of taking the place of guitar. But as I was performing live, I was doing a lot more live noise stuff. And I wanted there to be just sort of like a pocket for the noise to sit in. Because if I'm doing like, drums and bass and like two guitars, then noise on top of it, it all starts to get a little muddy and like blend together. So
you had some songs with guitars on them, don't you?
Yeah, I had.
I thought so.
There's the two Cyber Violence EPs where I've got like guitar. Everything before that was like just heavily distorted synthesizers.
Yeah.
But I wanted there to be room in that sort of like mid to higher register, where I could put the noise without it just like just drowning everything out. So that's why I switched to just bass and drums. I mean that, and just like I'm a big fan of like the bass drums, Power Violence, like Man is the Bastard, World Peace, Water Torture, those kinds of bands.
Okay,
sure. Fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was checking out. I checked out Becoming Nothing, which I love the title of that, because isn't that what we all become?
Absolutely.
And then the Kayfabe Five Finger Discount track. Oh man, that fucker is a banger, dude. I actually I didn't know what to expect. I just I know what to expect with See You Next Tuesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about this collab and like how Drew, you guys' sound has evolved a little bit, and you even alluded to that a few years ago about adding more of these electronics, and we'll get into that. But I didn't really know what to expect, Chop. But man, I fucking dug it, dude. I was like,
oh, thank you.
It was intense. But I'm an extreme metal fan, so it's kind of like, fuck, man, give me that shit, Then I watch a little live stuff, and man, your vocals sound killer when you're out there just giving all that energy live and shit, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't know what to expect, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. So that kind of brings us to this collaboration. How did this come about? Do you guys want to elaborate on that? I think it's a perfect collab after kind of, what I just said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to start, or?
You go ahead.
Okay. I mean, we've never met in person. We've been friendly online for a while. There was like a Japanese site that put out like their top 10 grind albums of the year so far. And we were both on that. So we ended up like talking a little bit after that. There's been sort of an ongoing joke about us like touring Japan together because of it.
We're trying.
I still want to happen one day.
Right. Yes, please. Anybody listening that books in Japan.
Yeah.
That fan base is there, right? Shit.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Japan's like a big hotspot for noise. A lot of history there. But there was a tour that See You Next Tuesday had to drop off of. And I ended up just like sending a DM, just kind of being like, good on you guys for standing on business, because there was like some shenanigans. But
Yeah,
we were like talking at
there was a firing of a or there was like an AI generated poster.
Mm,
Um, and after they released the tour, um, like the artist came out and was like, "Hey, I submitted artwork for this poster, and then they ended up using this other thing instead." And we're just like, man, we have two tattoo artists in the band that
yeah,
literally make a living from artwork, and like AI is just ever so creeping into that whole livelihood, just artists churning out whatever they want just by a prompt, and it just takes so much the life out of it, and it's stealing, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't just
Yeah.
come up with it on
yeah,
its own. Like AI doesn't create art from nothing. Like it scours the internet and steals from everything that is out there that's public. So yeah,
yeah.
we dropped the tour and we're just like, that's not for us. And yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, but we ended up talking after that, and then we're talking about like gore grind and bass drums power violence, and because you guys had like a bunch of free time coming up, the timing just sort of worked out, and we just started bouncing tracks back and forth.
Yeah, from there it was just kind of him and I were like, well, funny story is I actually discovered CHOP, man, right around COVID. So
Uh,
shortly after, I'm guessing you kind of started taking off, but I had just got a TikTok, weirdly enough, and I started following him because on TikTok he always did like these grindcore album suggestion videos where he's like, "Hey, this is what I'm listening to this week," and I'm a mailman, so at the time I was working like 60 plus hours a
uh,
week, and it was really refreshing to have like these suggestions that and were spot on. So I just knew that we had like great
oh yeah.
taste in music together.
Mm. I got to get
But
back to doing that. I haven't been posting much lately.
yeah,
Although
not at
I
all.
haven't. I also like haven't really been listening to a whole lot of heavy stuff lately. So my suggestions would be like, I don't know. Here's a new synth pop track I've been listening to a lot.
No, no, nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, so after him and I started kind of texting, we were just like, I kind of was in the back of my head. I'm like, man, it'd be kind of fun to try to write some See Next Tuesday stuff that was just bass guitars and like omit the electrical guitar or electric guitar. And I just kind of pitched it to him. I was like, how do you feel about like us doing this together? And honestly, like the whole format, if you will, kind of came together within a couple hours of us just texting one night. Like I
Yeah.
was like, okay, we'll start with the program drums. So you like program some song structures, like put some stuff together and just send it my way, and I'll focus on doing like the bass, and then I'll send it back to him and he'll do the noise, and then we'll kind of figure out vocals after everything's said and done. So yeah, he actually, I want to say he sent me like what, 13 or 14 total songs.
Yeah, I sent a bunch.
It was more than we ended
I
up
was
using.
yeah,
Um, but ultimately, like whatever it was about this project, it really like got in my brain and like scratched an itch that needed to be scratched, because like I'm the kind of person that I'm a really slow writer. Like every riff I scrutinize so much, and um I at best I can churn out like one song a month type of thing. Oh, my dog
mm,
wants something. What do you want, Miss Hazel Basil? Come here. You want to say hi? This is Hazel.
Hey, Hazel.
I have
hi
some dinner
Hazel.
left that's sitting on the counter, so she's like, "Dad, I
Mm.
want your food. You're not eating it. That means it's mine." So yeah, I normally churn out like one song a month if I'm lucky when it comes to See Next Tuesday stuff. And like he started sending me these drums, and like I said, I'm a mailman, so I just put these drums in my headphones and like was at work, and just like ideas were just like coming to me. And I wrote all the bass and recorded all the bass within like 6 weeks.
Oh, damn.
It was crazy. I was astounded with myself. I was like, I didn't know I had all this pent up like riffage in my head. Um, but yeah, I mean that was like the bare minimum stuff too, which is funny because like there's so much more that got added onto this project as we like continued on. So this was like
Yeah.
month one into the project, and like we had 10 songs worth of drums and bass recorded, and I did stereo bass too, so it's like left and right panned, kind of like mimicking. I did
Sure.
well, not hard left and right, but you know, it was stereo bass nevertheless. And yeah, and then so I ended up showing my band because eventually we're gonna get the vocals in, and our drummer actually was just like, "Oh man, I wish I could be part of this project. This is pretty cool." And then it just like dawned on me. I was like, "Man, what if we tried to do like some sort of like hybrid drum situation?" And I pitched it to Zach, and he was against it at first because he was like, "Well, I
Yeah.
put all that work in."
Yeah, because originally I thought you wanted to replace the fake drums with the real drums. So I was like, oh man, that's like half of what I did.
Yeah.
But once you like pitched more the idea of like combining it and like doing both and like sent me some of it, I was like, yeah, this sounds great. So
yeah, it really so like I pitched it to Chop to make sure that like he was into it, you know, because I didn't want to just record our drummer over his drums and shit either. But
Sure.
I was like, you know, the our drummers wants to be involved, like by all means, like I want to put him in this project for sure. So like he lives down in Columbus. I'm up in northern Michigan. We're about a 5 hour distance from each other. So we planned like a studio session to record drums at my house, and like going into that, I was just like every time I had an idea, like, okay, there could be stuff like Chapong style where it's like two drum kits that are pan left and right, or like we could do like Tom jungle stuff, like Slipknot-esque, or just swap in and out, you know, and then like, so our drummer uses kick triggers. So we ended up just using the same kick drum sample that he had programmed. And like literally, Jimmy and I, so when at my house where I record, everything's out in the garage and I have a snake that runs into my house. So we just had on like Facebook chat or whatever, you know, um, like a video call, and we literally went like literal part by part. It was like, and we literally were like, first song, okay, let's do this part here. And it was like, yeah, that'd be cool if it was just Jimmy. And then we go to the next part and he'd be like, oh, this would be cool if we kept what's there, but like Jimmy would do just like some Tom accents. It'd be cool to do this. We literally went all through every single song and just were like picked and chose. How do you say that? Um, just like this little bits and stuff. And man, like it really, I feel like it really like turned the dimension around for the record for sure. Like but yeah, so what were we talking about? Drums. Yeah, the drums just
Going
kind
part by
of,
part. Yeah.
yeah, just going part by part. And then when we got done, it was just like, man, this is so fucking badass. Cause like, a lot of the fills we did like Slipknot style. So like he had program fills and then Jimmy did fills over it. And I'd have them pan like in both directions, you know? So it's like, you hear these fills that go from center to both ways. And it's just kind of adds so much of a dimension. And I can't remember, Chop, did you have noise stuff down when we did drum?
I think I had some of it. I had it for
Okay.
like some tracks, but not everything.
Yeah. Because yeah, I feel like at that point we were kind of just passing it back and forth because he was adding like noise elements. He'd send it to me, and then I'd like mix it in and add like the reverbs and delays and stuff to really just texturalize it.
Yeah, because I sent so many drums like right at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then you were like, okay, calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to record some stuff. And then you started recording your bass stuff, and then while you were working on like the next few songs, I was doing some of the noise stuff on the first few that you recorded on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like kind of all over the place in terms of like what step we were at.
Yeah, it was a really good back and forth though, because it's like we both got to put our input in pretty frequently on the music, you know. The craziest part too is like ultimately this session was over 120 tracks.
Oh, wow.
Because like we had his drum tracks, our drummer's tracks, which I mean live drums is like, you know, I had 8 mics all over his kit.
Right, one track per
two
of drum,
two overheads, 2 on the
overhead,
snares, 1 on each tom, all that stuff.
Sure.
And then I had multiple bass tracks. I had like sub bass tracks, and then every single piece of noise that he sent me, I processed individually. So I put it all on individual tracks. Because it's like, you know, he has one part that's like needs to be down the center, and then he had stuff that's stereo. So like that needs to be panned left and right. Ultimately when I mixed it though, I took all of his tracks, which I want to say that like because all the stereo tracks and stuff, it was pushing like 70 tracks worth of stuff that was just the noise.
Oh, damn.
I ended up bouncing that down to 2 stereo tracks. So when I did like the final mix down, I didn't have to like, you know, like if I wanted to mute the noise, I didn't have to like mute a whole bunch of stuff. It was just one group of 2 tracks type of thing.
Yeah, or find which one it is in the 70 tracks that you're trying to mute.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I did have a pretty good labeling system. Like I did like so like if it was track 9 and it was the first noise of the track, I did like 9.1, and then the second noise was 9.2. So like if you go down the list, I did have it relatively organized, but also like just all the effects and plugins that I had on everything, like my processor was pushing like 99%. So I was just
I tried to
it.
label stuff in ways that made sense when I sent them to you, but with noise, it's like, what do you call some of these things?
Yeah. Blurpity blop.
Yeah. Distorted white noise 1 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just did like literal like track number dot what number it came up in the song. So like, you know, most songs he did like 6 to 8 different noise pieces. You know, some of it would layer and get louder as the track would, you know, go on and stuff. But yeah, it made it relatively easy. But just to avoid all the processing on my computer, it definitely saved me a lot of headache bouncing it all down. The other reason I did that too, I'll be honest, when I got vocals, which we'll talk about the whole vocal process in a second, but when I added vocals on, because like I had it pretty decently mixed when it was just bass and his drums and some noise, and then we added Jimmy's drums. I never brought stuff down, it just made it all work, and I didn't realize that it was like top tier volume wise. It was fucking loud. Like so loud that when I put Chop's vocals in, I had to triplicate them to get them to the volume of everything, and I was like, this is stupid, what am I doing? And then that was one of those moments where I was like, I need to bounce these noise tracks so I can bring them all down at the same time. Bring all the drums down at the same time. I ended up bussing both drums into 2 separate buses, so they had like one master volume for each. So I was able to bring the whole volume of the thing down to be able to get vocals in there. It was intense. Like I've done a handful of recordings now for other bands and our band, but man, I've never pushed more than like 40 tracks of stuff, let alone breaking 120. So it was nice to finally pull it back and get it more organized.
Yeah, it's amazing how much, you know, what is it, like 12 minutes or like how long is it? I didn't give me a total runtime, but
it's a 7-inch, so it fits. I think it's 9 minutes and 50 seconds because a 7-inch only holds 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I think that's important to know how much work just goes into that 7 minutes of music.
Nine and a half, but
nine
it's,
and a half.
It's short, but it's dense.
Yeah,
very,
absolutely.
very, very dense. Yeah,
absolutely. I wanted to. Oh, go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say the interlude tracks too were like another another few tracks of stuff too, which was kind of fun. Um, but yeah, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, to me, you know, with the way that even See You Next Tuesday, the last few releases, you got the Distractions and then Relapse,
Yeah.
so you start adding more of these, the different reduxes and the remixes and the extra electronics. And we were also talking last time about how you and Fox were like big fans of like more of the electronic and that dirty kind of
Yeah.
grungy type stuff. So it just seems like almost a natural progression that this was the thing that you kind of collabed on with Chop and kind of came out next.
Yeah.
It really made sense in my mind after our conversation,
Yeah. Thank you.
So, but I mean, I'll say this, and we're going to talk more about it, but, when I'm listening to it, I've kind of been suffering from a little bit of insomnia lately, which is
Okay.
fucking brutal.
Yeah, that is
I
brutal.
go to bed,
Ooh.
but then I wake up and I'm awake for 3-4 hours and I just like my mind won't shut off. I cannot sleep.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect soundtrack to my fucking life right now, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
I'm
like
glad.
I'll
I'm glad you
always
like it.
remember this.
Nice.
This time in my life, man.
Awesome.
And that's what's cool about music. It always brings you to a time in life. But going back to kind of the drums and the production, I was wondering that because sometimes you kind of hear this like when it's blasting, you hear this like really like tingy bell and it's like really robotic, and then sometimes you hear like this blast and it's like a little more natural. And I was kind of wondering if there was a mix up of the drums there of both sounds. So that really makes sense to me.
Yeah, for sure. I love playing around with it. There's parts where there's like program bell in one ear and program the natural bell in another ear, and yeah, man, like we just literally, like I said, Jimmy and I went part from part, and it was literally like, all right, let's do, we'll do left and right pan drums here, we'll stack drums here, we'll do these fills here, and yeah, it's just, man, it really just came together pretty quick, honestly. Like Jimmy was only up here for like a day and a half, and we recorded everything.
Yeah, you guys knocked that shit out.
Yeah, very, very quick. Well, he comes a long way, so we got to come prepared, like
You're
going
right,
into
you're right.
that weekend, I had a lot of ideas. And then, Jimmy brought ideas. Like the opening track to the record actually starts with Jimmy doing a drum fill. And
Yep.
originally, when Trop sent me every song, they just had like a programmed 4 count to start them in.
Yep.
Sure.
And I was like, that's really cool, but that's like something that's pretty standard for his songs, especially like his albums that are like 194 tracks. It's like like signify the separation in songs.
Yeah.
So I was
Real
trying to
grindcore
like,
shit.
yeah, exactly. I was trying to like keep that element, but make it different for every song. And like I don't remember. I think Jimmy and I like ran and got food or something like that, and we were listening to like Locked Up, and we're just like, there's one song where it's Barker just fucking shredding on the drums, and I was like, man, we should have a part where you start with the drums, and yeah, it was just like I said, just one thing after another, one part by part, and we eventually got through every song and added drums to everything. So it really, really is something different for sure.
It is, man, and it takes it does take a special person to like kind of consume this. This is extreme music.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The goal is that job well done.
Yeah,
I think the vocalists complement each other very well on this.
Yeah.
But let me just ask you, Drew, because one, I love See You Next Tuesday. We've talked about that before.
Thank you.
But obviously, I'm a guitar player, and I praise your guitar playing enough to you. But you're an awesome guitar player. You said you're a music nerd. Guitar nerd. That's how you got as good as you got, and with all the interesting ideas. So what was that like? Is that kind of to stay true to the Chop sound that you didn't want to? Obviously, there's the interludes, and we'll kind of talk about track by track if you don't mind, if you got the time.
Absolutely.
But, I mean,
yeah, please do. Yeah.
Yeah. But just what was the idea then? It's like, okay, then I'm not gonna. I know you said you played bass, and then in the video, which we'll also talk about, you're ripping the bass. But is this to kind of stay true to the Chop sound too?
Yeah, well, that was kind of one of the initial ideas. Right when him and
Uh,
I were first talking, we're like, let's omit electric guitar and
uh-huh.
focus on, like he said, having the bass being like there, and then the noise kind of fills the pocket in the
Uh-huh.
stereo field that guitars would normally do. So I was like, it'd be really fun for me as a musician to try to write what I would normally write, but just on guitar on bass. And
Yeah.
like I didn't hold back. I mean, there's definitely some bass shredding and bass sweeps and bass tapping riddled throughout the record. I mean,
Sure.
honestly, like one of my biggest influences musically is the band Origin. And
Oh, love Origin, man.
yeah. Um but just like the first song, after just like right when I started writing that song, it reminded me of Origin right off the bat. And I was like, okay, I
Mm.
could make this work with basses.
Yeah. Well, that it's awesome, man. On first listen, it kind of didn't register, and I'm kind of like searching because some of that bass is distorted, so it's kind of like this is a real low tuned guitar. Is it eight
Yeah.
string, nine string, whatever? Because we get
I'm
into that
also I'm
territories.
I'm also See You Next Tuesday normally is in drop A, and
Okay.
I wanted, since this is all bass, I wanted this to be a little lower than See You Next Tuesday. So actually that all those
Mm.
tracks are in drop G.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
really
gee.
fucking low. Oh gee.
Oh, gee.
That's funny.
Yeah, so let's get into this, man. Can we first, before we start busting this down, tell me about the theme, because you said Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
When talking about the theme,
Yeah.
and I know, I had it in the note here because when we talked before, you had your project, Thrash Caster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that lends a little bit to this as well, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
funny.
scratching that itch.
I forgot about that. I actually don't really play Magic anymore, but at the time of me doing Thrashcaster, I definitely was, because actually it was named after, there was a card that came out at that time called Snapcaster,
Mm.
which was like a really, really, really prevalent card at the time in tournament play. My dog is just whining. What is wrong with you, Missy? Come here. All right, shut up. Good girl. Um,
Oh,
anyway,
gee.
yeah. Yeah, I guess like, so in the interest of time, because when
Yeah.
vocals obviously being like the last thing that we added to the record, I know Chop was like moving out of a place. He was looking for a new place to live.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that was right when that was happening. Fuck.
Yeah, and then our singer was also moving places, which is crazy because he owns a tattoo shop, and he used to have the apartment that was behind his tattoo shop, and he was
Mm.
moving
Uh,
into like a house. So he was going through some of that stuff at the time, and um, I just kind of started thinking of like, okay, what is a way that like each vocalist can have like a fair share, but without having to like really drag this on by picking and choosing parts and stuff. So like, um, I just kind of came up with the ideas like, what if we kind of like treated this as like a pseudo split? Because
yeah.
like, Chop and myself and Jimmy made all the music, so all 10 songs are the same musicianship. But then we're like, okay, what if it's just like split by vocals? So side A would
Yeah.
be See You Next Tuesday's vocalist, and then side B would be CHOP7TIMES vocalist. And yeah, it just it kind of just provoked more ideas. It's like, okay, we don't want them to just be about two different topics. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
We
and
had
then
we had come up
eventually,
we had come
what's
up
that?
pretty early on with the idea of doing like a conflict from two sides. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
pitched like something kaiju related or like pro wrestling related at one point. And then I think you had talked to Fox, and that's when the Magic idea came up.
Yeah. So yeah, once we kind of like decided we wanted to have like a shared topic, and the idea would be like each side would be a different perspective of the same story. Like he said he was pitching like kaiju and wrestling. I kind of just like, what if we just did like a murder mystery storyline and like two people's perspective of the same thing or something like that. And then at the time, Fox was actually, who is Fox, our singer, is a huge Magic nerd. Like, dude plays probably 3 nights a week with friends
Oh,
and stuff.
wow.
Yeah. And
Takes it real serious.
yeah, very, very, very
You get
serious.
he got all them decks made, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And at the time, when we were like talking about content to theme the record around, um, Fox was actually just kind of delving into the lore behind Magic the Gathering, and the I guess some set that revolves around Mishra and Urza, the two
Yeah.
brothers that take place in was just came out at the time. So he was in the middle of reading that book, um, and he kind of pitched it to me like, "Hey, what if one was one brother and one was the other brother?" And I was like, "Sure, let me check because I know Chop's a big nerd, so maybe he knows something about magic." And
Yeah,
sure
and
enough, he read it before. So
He's like, I
yeah,
got that shit down,
so
bro.
yeah, actually, yeah. So that set is like that book is actually from like a while back. That
yeah,
book was based around
I read it in like high school, and I'm
Sam.
43, so it was like
Yeah,
it was
that
90s for sure.
that
98.
book is based around the set Antiquities, which is like
Yeah,
way back in the day, like before the set symbols even had like colors to show what rarity they are. So like way
yeah,
back. But they did, I guess, in like the current stories, they had like the big villain of that time period is back, and they did like a time travel thing back to that era to like figure out how to beat them again or something. But so they did the brothers war set kind of as a redo of it to like do like, because back when Antiquities came out, they didn't do as many like direct nods to the story as they
yeah,
do now. They'll show like the exact events. They'll have like legendary cards for like the characters. So there's like a bunch of cards from back in the day that just like, or a bunch of characters from back then that just like, never got cards. Like Gix, like Mishra got a card later, but it's like a different thing. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't think Urza ever got a card like until then. Um,
yeah. They had their
but yes,
factories and power plants and shit like that, but
yeah,
not them as characters themselves.
yeah. And so like that, like when all of the Urza Mishra stuff was going on, like it was like Brothers War was a little before my time, but like everything with like the Weatherlight saga into like the Phyrexian invasion was when I was playing. I stopped playing Magic at about Time Spiral, which is like about 2005, 6, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe a little later than that.
Time
Um,
Spiral is a weird place to leave because that was a great set.
and that's like right before Planeswalkers were introduced.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yep.
as a card, at least they were in like
Yeah.
the lore. But I was like, when I was playing, I was a huge lore nerd. So like I read the Brothers War. I read like all the Urza stuff, all the Weatherlight stuff, the Phyrexian invasion stuff, like I said, and then like a little bit after that, the Ravnica cycle I read. So yeah, when he mentioned the Brothers War, I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like perfect,
Let
right?
me
Yeah,
do
right.
yeah, just let me do the Mishra side because that's
Yeah.
where all like the Phyrexia stuff is, all the weird like Tetsuo the Iron Man body horror, like yeah.
Yeah, it worked
It's
out great. Fox was just like, "Oh shit, he knows all about it," and I was like, "Yeah, his only request is he wants to be Mishra," and Fox was like, "That's fine with me."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that seemed like it was almost meant to be, right? Shit,
Yeah,
man.
and like before they even wrote lyrics, Fox was just like, "Hey, can we name the record Brothers?" I'm like, sure.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brothers starts out with a Blossom of Light, smacks you in the face, about 33 seconds of
Oh
just
yeah.
intensity.
Yep.
Tells you what kind of ride you're in for. But man, it's intense. I fucking love it. You want to tell me a little bit about Blossom of Light and why this is the first track on the record?
Yeah, so I can't speak much to the lyrics that Fox wrote. But I'm sure Zach Chop can spit that out. but yeah, musically, so when we were like, okay, before we even thought of the Brothers War thing, we were just kind of, we just came up with the idea that it's going to be a split, A side, B side.
Yep.
So him and I were just kind of like tossing around, like, oh, I really like this song. I remember what ended up being track 6 was like his first pick was like, I want this song. This one's my favorite song.
Yeah.
And then what's track 4 was my favorite song. And I was like, okay, as long as I get to keep this one. And then we kind
Mhm.
of just went back and forth. And he was like, I like this one, and I like this one. And I was like, I like this one.
Yep.
And so then we each had
And
5 on each track. 'Cause we each had 5 on each side. And I think I just put it together in like a playlist and was listening to it. So there's no lyrics at this point. It's just the noise and
yeah.
drumline stuff. And I just kind of like put it together in a playlist on my phone and just listened to it in a couple different orders. And then
Yep. Just making sure it
it,
flowed.
yeah, and just the fact that it started with the drum fill, I was just like, that one just feels like an intro to me. Like it's just
Mm.
so like right out of the gates, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that first song that I like wanted on my side was like the obvious track one because it has the long intro.
yeah, for
So
sure.
I stole that.
Yeah. It's awesome though. So yeah, it worked out, and nothing wrong with putting a nice short and sweet song to just kick the record off, especially with
Yeah.
going into what became track 2.
Yes.
Like that one takes like a kind of a different direction right off the bat, because it
It
has some
does.
more slower elements to it.
Yep. I noticed that, and the you start almost introducing a little bit of groove, a little bit in, or at least one part. But I do
Yeah.
like how it's almost like an intro on the first one, talking about
Yeah.
Blossom of Light, and then
Yeah.
it seamlessly goes into Motherless Dogs, so it's
Yeah.
almost kind of like
Yeah.
the same, right?
Yeah. That
One
to me.
piece, but
Yeah, that's why to me, Motherless Dogs was just like the choice to go right after it.
Mm.
And when I put all the songs together, I had them all. I'll put them in a project and have them kind of overlap on the endings, so they really do just have that natural flow into each other. And yeah, it really in my head, I thought that same thing where it's like Blossom of Light is almost the intro to Motherless Dog. It really is. Like it just because it's just so out of the gates, and then Motherless Dog is just kind of like it reminds me of Southbound Pachyderm by Primus,
yeah, just on that one, yeah. Yeah, there's like the beginning kind of, or like there's one part in there towards the beginning you kind of do that, then it's kind of like the same motif, if you will, and more at the end a little bit, almost kind of like it repeats a little bit. Like
it has
just
a cool
that kind of
slow down, kind of like falls into like this noisy thing, and then I guess, and then the interlude track is next, which those were kind of pre-planned before we even really got everything written either.
Yeah.
I remember I was kind of talking about how, obviously you're familiar with our stuff, Jay, how Parasite had paraphilia.
Yep, absolutely.
What I always describe paraphilia on that record as like a palate cleanser. You got this like math core, math grind, like just chaosy noise and panic chords, and then all of a sudden it has this kind of like Smashing Pumpkins jam track, and in my head I just kind of had this idea that it'd be kind of cool to, because of how just batshit fucking wild this stuff is. It'd be kind of cool to have some kind of like mellow tracks, not necessarily mellow, but anyway, so during that whole idea process, I remember Chop was showing me this band. There was like some Canadian dude on Bandcamp. His name is just like Three Triangles.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know how to say that? Do you know how that's said as a band?
I have no idea. And
Okay.
so yeah, the album is like almost like 50% like noise grind, like super harsh, and then 50% like vaporwave. So
it has it's like this textural like meditation music. But the thing that stood out to me about it was like the like he did it like every other track. The band that we're talking about, it was just fucking just in your face, and then it was like meditation hertz, like 396 with like this distorted like breathing, like and it was just like this eerie like ASMR type of shit, and I was just like,
it's such a vibe.
it was very much a vibe, and I was like, man, we should try to do like some kind of like pretty kind of tranquil songs. And I just was jamming on my acoustic. Both those songs I recorded in like an hour. I just was like sitting around smoking weed and just like playing around with an arpeggio and changing some weird chords, and like they just kind of came together. And then honestly, like the noise stuff that he added in was just like so, it was a vibe for sure. Like the ticking and like the kind of like satellite like space like beep, 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 beep sounds and stuff. It just it had it to me. It's like that perfect like driving music. You know what I mean? Like it kind of had like a Midwest emo vibe, but like down-tuned acoustic as well. Because my acoustic was in drop A at the time too, so it was yeah, they were super super fun little songs for sure, and they're short and sweet, and I feel like it just gives you that like, what's next?
Yeah. I think it also,
I definitely like.
Oh, go ahead, Chop.
I was gonna say I definitely like actively tried to make the noise stuff I recorded for those tracks like a lot more like chill and like match sort of the vibe of like, the riffs and like, because we wanted it to be a palate cleanser. But I also like, I just still think it's really funny that we recorded this whole EP with like no guitars except the interludes.
And the interludes were an acoustic guitar on a clearly like grind centric record.
Well, I had a note on that. I really love the overlays, and I just put like chop ? Nest to it because I knew that was kind of probably the influence that you put on that, and I was assuming exactly what you said, Drew. So I personally thought, but we had talked about that before, the little palate cleansers, and I think sometimes I mean, even in this extreme as it gets kind of music that you guys, this EP, like a little dynamics never hurts,
And the other thing too is like, for being only 9.5 minutes, having those like, sorry, Hazel's speaking for me today. Having those like drastic dynamic shifts almost makes the listener feel like the record is more of a journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always try, especially since Distractions came out. Distractions was my first ability I engineered the whole thing and recorded it myself, and being able to have like that control over the flow and like the listener perspective really, really leans towards what I wanted to accomplish with this record. But yeah, just having those little, even though they're only like 40-second songs, like you get done with the record and you look back and we're like, man, that was a whirlwind, wasn't it?
Yeah, you kind of blink and it's over, and you're like, oh shit, that was a ride, But
exactly.
I also kind of feel those pieces are important because of the story as well. Because we're in Magic the Gathering, so there's so many different atmospheres and different types of cards you can play, and different like spells and those kind of magics or whatever. I'm not super versed in that, so I'm sorry if I'm saying something wrong, Chop. You can
you're good.
But you know what, actually, to kind of go back to your previous question about like track order, I sort of used that interlude for my side lyrically sort of as a separation in this. So, spoilers for a 15-20 year old book, but Mishra kind of at a certain point gets corrupted by this outside force called Phyrexia, which is this sort of like H.R. Giger machine planet of like biomechanical horrors.
Yeah.
And he gets these like cultists whispering in his ear, and then he basically agrees to like get changed by Phyrexia. And it's sort of unclear when he shows up to the last battle if it's even still him or if it's like a machine sort of wearing his skin. But that interlude, everything before that is 100% Mishra. It's his point of view. And then the track after the interlude is him being changed. And then the last track is him in the final battle having been changed.
Yeah.
So the interlude are definitely used as that like separation between like regular Mishra and like Phyrexian Mishra.
And
nice.
Not to jump ahead, but the closing track on his side too was just like perfect. Like just everything about that end of that riff and just like his fucking disgustingly long scream and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got excited.
No, it's all good, buddy. It's all good. I just want to make sure we give this the proper due, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But by War or Guile, man, I just love how it comes out of the dynamic, and there's almost like the little like, you know, the tail end of the like a little distortion at the end just to kind of like almost prepare you for this next track, and then it just comes in blistering again, and you're like, holy fuck, like just with that drum, and I'm just like, man, fucking this is awesome, dude. And I just love the vocal attack on this particular track too, just the patterns on it really stood out to me, man.
That song is probably my favorite on the record, honestly. Like the more I listen to the record, just like musically, the few things that I did in that record, like or on that track, for example, there's that part that's kind of like your pop, or it's like a pop 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 pop, and on the bass, the first time it's around, I do like opens on the I do opens on the accent and then harmonics during the blasting, and then the second time around when I do it, I do the opposite. So it's like I do the accents with the harmonics, and then I chug opens during the blasting, and it just kind of has this like juxtaposition between, it's like the same riff but exactly the opposite over the same exact drums, because he just copied and pasted the part, you know.
Yeah,
and then the middle, there's like that middle like like that just kind of just slammy part, and the way that the way that the bass sounds, it's like super like if Typo Negative was trying to write a two-step part.
That's a good way to put it.
That part in particular, just like for some reason I picture like Peter Steele just being like, all right, everybody, fucking two-step.
Two-step.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go into old thoughts and regrets. Jesus Christ, man, this one fucking just pushes the insanity to the next level, almost like if we already haven't crossed the barrier of intensity. And then I do have to note, this video is fucking incredible, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, man! Like,
Mike Hartley is our video guy, and he's the fucking bee's knees, man.
Dude, you guys are the fucking kings of videos. I don't give a fuck. All your videos are so badass. The one you just did, the eight dead, nine counting fetus. Even the paraphilia video, I actually stumbled across that. And I fucking love that video because it's just a slow track, but it's like you guys throwing the fuck down from all the way back, you know, when he was a young you know? I was like, man, you guys got the video game on lock, man. Fucking, but this video.
It's a lot. Mike Hartley is our video guy. And shit, he just started. He messaged me yesterday, and he started an Instagram for like his film company, and I can't think of what it was because he just started it, but either way, his at Crush My Bones on Instagram for anybody that wants to hire a videographer. Dude is awesome. Even like like you mentioned, the paraphilia video, he just like ripped a bunch of videos off of YouTube and just edited all that stuff. He's actually we got a second video coming up down the road that's going to be a song off of Chop's side. And even though Chop lives in Connecticut, he's going to film everything and send it over to Mike, and he's going to edit it as well because he's the fucking man.
The only thing I could have said if I was going to give you a feedback, Chop, you should have sent him up one of those masks so it just looked like you were sitting there playing the game.
He is. Did you not notice in the video? Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch it. I didn't catch that, man.
I'm in there somewhere.
Yeah,
not me, but
yeah. So
no, you're there, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Chop sent me the link on Amazon that you ordered the masks from, and I ordered a handful of them. Yeah, if you watch the video right in the beginning, where like Fox and Rick walk into the shop, and I'm pretending to like scan stuff.
Yeah, you're scanning.
Sitting behind me is like we had a bigger blonde dude. There was like, dude, do you mind just wearing this mask?
Oh fuck yeah!
And he's sitting there playing Magic with that. Yeah, it's right in the beginning of the video.
Well, I'll tell you why I missed
Doom
it.
Just sending out Doom bots.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you why I missed it because I watched, I listened to the record a couple times or the EP, and I watched the video, and I started watching some more See You Next Tuesday videos and stuff. Then today, when I started discovering, I started digging into some of Chop's social media because I listened to some of it, but on Bandcamp, there's really not a visual representation of Chop, right? So then today I see the red mask and all that. So maybe it just didn't register when I watched it. Then it makes more sense. So my bad, dude. My bad. So good call on that.
Okay.
That was
all
good.
Awesome. All good.
I'm still mad that they. I'm still mad that Amazon changed the stock photo on that mask listing because I've been. If you follow me on social media for a while, you're gonna see there's this really dumb looking stock photo of this mask that they use. That's like, it's clearly like a full face mask with no eyes or mouth, and they just like photoshopped somebody's eyes and mouth over it. Every time one of those it's so dumb looking, but every time one of those like chain letter type things shows up in somebody's Instagram stories, it's like share a photo of you in Florida or whatever, I really quick go into Photoshop and make like this really bad like photoshopped image of that stock picture like in front of like the swamp or something. I have so many of them now, but the Amazon listing has like a different one now that looks equally bad but in a different way.
It's equally bad. Yeah, and the funny thing about the listing, the newest one is it's not even like a head shape. It's like a perfect. It looks like they like slipped it over a fucking basketball. Like it's perfectly cylindrical.
I think I'm convinced the old one is like a mannequin.
Yeah.
This is for all the basketball head shaped dudes,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then we come out of that, and then we go into Thicker Than Blood.
Yep.
This song's my favorite off the record.
That one's a fucking it's a beast for sure. That's my second favorite.
There's just it kind of takes you in the short period of time you go in a lot of places, and some of it just really speaks to this death metal side of me for some reason on this, and I think that's why I like it so much because I'm just such a death metal guy. I really love Thicker Than Blood, man.
For me, it like right after the pop, it has like the little intro, then it's got the snare pops. It comes in, it kind of gives me like Ministry vibes. Like just that, because like his noise stuff is very just industrial sounding on that track. And then after that, it has that cool galloping part where there's all the Jimmy's just doing like all the bells and stuff. That song has a very, 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 very fun vibe to it for sure.
That was like an early front runner for like favorite track when we were still working on stuff before noise or vocals were in there. I remember that being the one where it was like, oh, this is going to be something special.
Oh yeah,
when we were working on that. That has like the sulfuric cautery hyper blasts like right at the beginning, and
that's actually the blast in that he's talking about too. Is both snare drums. So like
Yeah.
his program blast, the snares are on the upbeat. And then when I recorded
Yeah.
Jimmy, he recorded all downbeats blasting. So you actually hear like the 2 snare drums, and I have them slightly panned left and right so you can feel it. But you can hear both, like, because the program snare is like extremely ping, and then Jimmy's
Yeah.
snare
Oh,
is
yeah.
just like cranked to shit, and it's just like
Yeah. It's almost like gravity blast a little bit, like
exactly, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm doing like
absolutely.
I think it switches between like triplets and like 4/4
Yeah, there's a part
blasts.
where Jimmy just does on the snare where he's just going just kind of like a marching snare roll over
Yeah.
top of the
Okay.
program drums. Yeah, it's fucking intense for sure. And it
Yeah.
ends on
Yeah.
such a on the that like it's just like from start to finish that song rips for sure.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that song. Then we move into On Caring, On Trustworthy. To me, this kind of you get a little, earlier we talked about how one of the tracks it went to a little bit different territory. I felt like this one did because we're introducing a little groove into this one, especially after the intensity of Thicker Than Blood.
Yeah.
So, in the 9 minutes, we are introducing just some different flavors, and I really like this song as well, man. I just thought this was cool how it just wasn't another copy of the previous track, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
end of that song I feel is like the most death metal riff too.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
kind of like back and
Definitely.
forth between like blasting and the kind of vibe. But yeah, that song, and it ends on such a cool note too, just that it kind of like
Yeah.
vaporizes,
Yeah.
it's really, really cool.
And
Yeah,
I
that
love
it's
like or, I was gonna
Go
say I
ahead, Chop.
love like when a grindcore album like hits a groove like after those like super intense blast beats, because like I don't know, I feel like it always just hits so hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, is that the one that's almost got like the skank beat a little bit in it, like the
Yeah,
tuka
yeah,
tuka
yeah.
tuka tuka, that kind of thing, the
Yep, yep,
fucking
yep,
headbanger. Yeah.
yep.
Hell yeah.
And then we go into a little bit more dynamics with Imperfect Flesh. I love the motif of this one.
Yeah,
Absolutely great Drew on this, dude.
thank you.
And then
The
kudos to you,
little
Chop 2 with
like space effects in that one in particular, just it like everything about that song is just so like 90s emo to me. I don't know. It just has like this indie emo vibe and like the little twinkles and stuff. Like it's so pretty, but like sci-fi at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, which is fitting considering like the subject matter around the
Yeah.
title and like
Yeah.
the track surrounding it.
Yeah, but then again, just like kind of adding those dynamics in there where not completely punishing. We've
Right.
been punished.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of give our ears a break, like you said, you alluded to, like you kind of like to do with the See You Next Tuesday stuff too, so it
Yeah.
kind of fits that vibe of that as well. So
Yeah.
awesome job on that. And then Chop, you want to tell me about Dreams of Glistening Oil? Interesting
That's the,
song title.
Yeah, that's the like Phyrexia song. That's like the Gix song. So like Imperfect Flesh, I titled the interlude that because at that point in the story, Mishra is like he's getting sick and he's aging and he's like probably not gonna make it. So his like body is betraying him. And that's the point where these like machine people are like, yo,
My
we can
dogs wanna
fix
go
you
out.
up
One sec.
real quick. But yeah, so that's the, what did I call that track again? Dreams of Glistening Oil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Glistening Oil is like a big like what's the word I'm looking for? A big reoccurring image when it comes
Yeah.
to Phyrexia, which is like Magic the Gathering's like big bad, that machine world. So I definitely wanted to, include in my lyrics, I was trying to avoid names or places or like proper nouns. I didn't want to mention the name Urza. I didn't want to mention the name Mishra. but some of those like more deep cut kind of things. It's like anyone who plays Magic the Gathering who knows anything about the lore is going to see the words glistening oil and they're immediately going to know what it's about. I also, in the lyrics, I say something about being complete or completed. And in the lore of Magic, the process of becoming this like Phyrexian, like half machine creature is called being completed. And they spell it with Leat at the end, which is like obviously wrong. But I very specifically, when I sent the lyrics, was like, I spelled this word this way. That's intentional. Don't let spell check fix it. So yeah, I wanted to like put in those like little deep cuts, and also just that track, like that's really about Mishra meeting Gix, and Gix is like my favorite character in Magic. That's like the reason I wanted to do the Mishra side, because he's like the first, well, I guess not the first like big Phyrexian we meet, but kinda. Yeah, I mean
we have a shirt right now with Gix on it too. That's up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the characters that didn't get a card until this recent set.
Yeah. There is one thing I wanted to point out about this song too, is coming out of the song before it, how like there's this that like kind of rumbling, distorted, like, and then it starts with that one like pop of a snare, and then it comes in. You ever see that? Like, it was like an internet challenge that bands always do. It's like a Celine Dion song where it just has that random tom hit, and then she's like,
oh, yeah,
yeah,
like trying to time it.
Yeah, trying to time it. I was pitching to the rest of my dudes that we should try to do like a video of where like it's us playing with a snare just ready, and see if any of us can nail it. We should definitely, awesome. Between now and the 15th, we should definitely do that, CHOP.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like get a video of us with a snare drum and just have it playing. I guarantee you none of us will hit it. I've listened to the song like probably 100 times, between mixing it and, just listening to it over the months that we've had it finished. And I don't think I could even nail it, because there's no counting. There's no like ticking or anything that gives you any resemblance of tempo.
Yeah.
And it comes out of such like a melancholy guitar riff that doesn't really even allude to a tempo either. So it's just like randomly just.
Nice. And then we close with a hell of a track, The Butcher.
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking awesome track. Great way to close this EP too. Just on the heavy. And then I believe this is the one, I didn't note it, but I believe this one, there's like this very low like vocal on this one, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken on that, Chop? There's like almost like a death metal, or is that on Dreams of Glistening Oil? Because I know towards the end, there's kind of like this lower like death metal vocal towards the end of one of these tracks. He does like a
at the very end. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got that huge long scream that's like the whole ending. Yeah. And then he does that.
Yeah.
The
blah is always fucking tasty. Yeah.
Yeah. When he sent me the vocals for that song in particular, I remember just listening to that dry. I was like, this is the longest scream ever. And then I heard that little blah, and I was like, fucking A, that's perfect.
I just love a long scream, and every once in a while I like to break it out and just like see how long I can go. And that, since it has that sort of like slow, more sludgy part at the end, like I thought it just fit perfectly, especially for the end of the EP. And like I didn't have any more lyrics I wanted to put at the end, so I thought it was a good way.
That's a perfect lyric. BLEGH.
Even though it's a slow part too, there are some bass sweeps in that section.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. You guys did an awesome job in this. I love the collab.
Thank you.
I didn't really know what to expect, but then after digging into it, it all made sense. And then getting to talk to you guys about it. What else do you want people to know about it?
I'm ready for the first comment that's like, the guitars are too quiet in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost non-existent.
Yeah, right. Just turn it up, buddy. You'll hear it.
Yeah, you're just missing that frequency in your headphones. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of things that I wanted to spit out since this is going to come out between like the full release. So on 420, I think this will come out after that. But yeah, back on 420, we released the single for All Thoughts and Regrets and the music video, and the record is up for sale. So everybody can buy the 7-inch physically.
Nice.
The whole album won't be streamable until the 15th of May. And we just wanted to, I mean, this is just obviously a big middle finger to fucking iTunes and fucking Spotify. It's like, you put your music up there and like people get to listen to it, and like it doesn't give anybody any urgency to buy the record. So we always try to do something to make the physical record more appealing. And this is the one thing I want to talk about. So not just a couple variants, but we have a really cool surprise. So each of the brothers are associated with a gem or
the might stone and the weak stone.
Yeah. So they have a color, Urza being red and Mishra being green. So the two main variants, we have 400 available of each, are going to be a translucent red and a translucent green. So like your Urza and Mishra variant. And then the Phyrexian is, like he mentioned before, is like the glistening oil. And we couldn't really figure out a way to get like an oil colored, so we ended up going with
standard black.
Standard black, baby. But then throughout the whole history of Magic, Phyrexia is always associated with the color purple. Because there's like the 5 elemental colors of mana, which is how you use to cast spells. And then like Mishra and them were always colorless. You know, they didn't need an element to cast them. But
they're artificers.
Later on, Phyrexia was associated with purple. So we did like this black and purple smash, which if you're unfamiliar, like the smash is like one A side is purple and then B side is black, and then when they press it together, it kind of gets like smushed. So like some of the purple bleeds onto the black side, some of the black.
Oh, sick.
So that is going to be only 200 available, and because the artwork, our singer Fox did the artwork for it, which the cover art is actually very, very simple. It's the inside artwork that has all the details and stuff. But after he put all the lyrics and stuff, I was like, man, that would look bitchin' as a poster. So the 200 variant is going to come with an 11x17 hand screen, silk screen poster of the full artwork without the lyrics and stuff on it. And it's fucking awesome. So anybody out there that's a physical collector, we hear you. We know you like cool shit. And that's something that we're really, really, one of the most I'm really excited about is to be able to have like a limited thing that's got like an actual keepsake to it too. So.
Yeah, that poster would look sweet here in the pod room.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'd have to pick one of those up, man.
Yeah. So.
All right, cool. Chop, is there anything that you want to express about the EP that you haven't yet?
I'm excited for people to hear it. I'm excited for it to be out there. And also just, you know, end of the hour disclaimer. I haven't played Magic since Time Spiral. I think Drew also said you haven't played Magic in a long time.
Yeah, I stopped shortly after Zendikar, so that was
I know what that is.
10 years ago. Yeah, that was about 10 years ago. I played pretty heavily during Zendikar, and I was actually still playing tournaments and stuff. And I came into some money issues and sold some shit off. And
the heaviest I ever played was when Ravnica and Kamigawa were in Standard.
Oh, I played so fucking good though.
I love that first Ravnica block. That's such a cool setting, such a cool set. I played a Mexican zoo deck. Nice. People who know, but I'm saying all this to just say we haven't played in a long time. If we got any details incorrect, I don't know, go outside.
Most likely not.
I will tell you
because
this though.
Fox.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
Fox definitely gave the
avid
thumbs
player?
up on Chop's lyrics. Also to note,
Word.
in the music video, there's a part where Jimmy, our drummer, is playing a judge. So it's like set up like a tournament. We're playing inside Evolution Games, really cool game shop in Lansing, Michigan, if anybody is ever in town. But yeah, we had it set up like a Friday Night Magic type of thing where everybody's playing the CEDA, and there's a part where Rick and Fox are playing each other, and he calls for a judge, and Jimmy comes over with his cowboy hat on, and they have an actual stack going on. A stack, for those that aren't nerds, it's like when somebody casts a spell and then somebody responds to a spell, and then it continues to be a call and response thing, and eventually stacks up. And the rule is last on is first to resolve. So the last spell cast is the first thing to actually take effect, and then it kind of trickles down. When they were building that stack in the music video, they made sure that everything on the table made sense. Like the mana that was tapped, the cards that were being played all made sense. So any nerds out there, feel free to look into that stack. I'm looking at you, Kyle and Jared Mertz.
I also do have one other thing. I want to give a shout out to the Magic the Gathering unofficial audiobooks podcast and narrator Phil Dawson, because that's how I revisited the book. Because I don't know if the books are like physically been reprinted. Maybe they did when the new set came out, but I play a lot of shows out of state. I'm on the East Coast, so it's pretty easy to do, one-offs 1 or 2 hours away. But while driving to all these shows, I was just listening to the audiobooks, listening to that podcast, just getting through it. I actually enjoyed listening to the Brothers War so much. I then listened to Planeswalker and I think Time Streams is the next one. I started listening to Bloodlines. I kind of fell off. That book gets a little weird. Urza gets really into eugenics.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of skip ahead and revisit some of the Weatherlight stuff because I like that stuff a lot.
And Chop actually, when he discovered those audiobooks, he sent them to me, and I sent them to Fox, and Fox was like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is way easier," because he was in the middle.
Nice.
He was actually reading the book for the first time, and he switched over to the audiobook.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
I played Pittsburgh Noise Fest around that time, and that's like from New Haven. That's like an 8-hour drive. Oh, yeah. So gave me a lot of time to listen to that on the way.
Nice. Okay, upcoming shows. See you next Tuesday, June 20th, Toledo, Ohio at Ottawa Tavern, Toledo Death Fest. Fuck yeah. June 28th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin at X-Ray Arcade for Metal Pride Fest. August 28th, Fort Wayne, Indiana at Pierre's Entertainment Center, Midwest Death Fest. So right now, that's what you got on the books, bro?
Yeah, hell yeah. Super stoked for all those shows, too. There's just super fucking sick bands on every one of those too. So
yeah, them are all look like all sick fests. What about you, Chop? You got anything on the books for shows you want to talk about?
I got something in October that's not announced yet. I don't know when this is coming out, but if it's coming out before May 1st,
it will be.
I will be. Then I'm playing the next It's Right to Rebel show at Cafe 9. Doors at 7, and it's a fundraiser. Half the money is going to, families affected by ICE, and the other half is going to, I believe, Palestine relief. So yeah, that'll be like a pay what you can donation sort of thing.
All right,
that's the only one I got on the books right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I will drop all you guys' links below. Awesome. Obviously, when this comes out, it's going to be a little bit before the digital release. But definitely, so you can go order these.
It's either on our Bandcamp or his Bandcamp or on sundownrecords.net.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and if there's any updates, Drew, just hit me with any links or anything you need, and I'll have it below. And anything else that you guys want to say before we close it out?
You haven't listened yet. I hope you're ready for a wild ride.
Yeah,
it's great, man. It's great. I fucking loved it myself, man. So
it's the best record in the world, but it's definitely one of the most unique.
It's a lot of work. One of the records of all time.
Yeah, and a lot of work. All right, fellas.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the pod and talking about your
Thank
art
you for
with me,
having
and
us.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So-
Absolutely, Jay. It was a pleasure, and that's so funny that it was so close to the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder how many.
it was just
Do
wild.
you remember what the date was? I wonder how many days off we are from.
It's this day exactly, 4/17,
No
2024.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's wild.
It
That's
just
wild.
happened to work out like that. So
That's awesome.
All right.
Love it.
all right,
Yeah.
fellas, and everybody listening, make sure you go check out Brothers, the chop, and see you next Tuesday, EP. And with that being said, keep it metal. Peace out, guys. Later. Thank you so much for checking out the episode. Be sure to hit that like button and give us a share.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed our podcast today, please give it a rating on your streaming service to help us gain some exposure.
And if you really enjoyed the show, please give us a follow or hit that subscribe button and come hang out with us every week. And remember, keep it metal.